my middle son is Harrison. I'm writing a story for each of my children, right? So Harrison goes to a birthday party. He loses his temper at the birthday party
because he has an issue with.
He has a bit of an issue with anger management, and basically. At the end of the party, when they're giving all the kids a balloon, they don't give Harrison a balloon, they give him a black hole on a piece of string. And he takes his black hole home and he realises that, actually, this is fantastic. Anything that makes him cross, he can put it straight into the black hole. So in goes the broccoli, in goes next door neighbours, Snappy Dog, in goes the entire beginner's swimming pool because he hates swimming, in goes his homework, in goes the school bully, and finally, in go his parents. And then he sort of realises he's gone too far and he needs to find a way to get them out. And that's the adventure part of the last part of the story.
It's a great book. By the way, kids, we're sorry about broccoli. Can we just, as all grown-ups, on behalf of all grown-ups, can we just apologise for broccoli? We didn't invent it. We can only apologise because we used to get the same thing with Brussels sprouts at Christmas, but we foisted broccoli upon our kids every week. We have this issue every week in our house. And do you think it's because we felt besmirched by Brussels sprouts as kids?
I never had to do anything trickier than sort of peas, garden peas, when I was a kid. And we've brought in all these new vegetables, aubergines, broccoli. I mean, it's tough for kids. They've got a challenge.
It depends how long you cook it for. But no, I know what you mean. Now, are you trying to tell Harrison something, your own son, via this book?
Well, I did check it all out with Harrison. I mean, one of the things, when you're writing a story for your children, you don't want them to turn around when they're 18 and sue you. So I did. So I did check it all through with Harrison.
But that's the only reason why.
That's the only reason why, yeah. So, I need a war chest, I need strategy, I need contracts. But I did read it through with him. I love to read the stories to my kids as I'm writing them so I get feedback from them, honest feedback in the case of Harrison. And I did take out anything he didn't like, and I put a lot of things in about school that he wanted to include. So I think he's happy. I think he's happy with it. But it's tricky because... I didn't want to portray him in any negative way. And to be quite honest with you, Chris, when I started, I was having a bit of trouble with Harrison's anger outbursts. And through writing the book...
So this is a real thing.
It's a real thing. I learned that the reason he gets angry is not... It's not because of the broccoli or whatever it is at that moment. It's because he's anxious about something.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out what it is that he's anxious about. And when we talk about that and we find out about that. So in a way, I'm recommending black hole therapy for all children with anger issues, because the idea is that this black hole, there's a sort of serious side to the story, which is that when he gets angry, he finds a way to cope with his anger that he's not had before. He doesn't need to lose his temper. He can just chuck it in the black hole. So for the first time, he experiences what it's like when he doesn't go into a rage. And it gives him just that little window to be able to start to change and get a grip on his anger. And also I learned anger's not a bad thing either, because anger, it can motivate you to do good in the world as well. So I wanted to have characters in there that were angry for justifiable reasons as well.
Yeah, and in psychology they call a similar condition. They refer to the thoughts as attack thoughts. Have you come across this?
I've not come across that.
So
no.
attack thoughts basically are often thoughts directed at other people that people really fear of themselves, about themselves, and they direct the thought that they fear most within themselves at someone else because they have to get it out. They have to get out, but they can't admit to themselves it's about them. They don't want anybody else to know it's about them, so they put it on somebody else.
I recognise
it's not dissimilar, is it?
Yeah, not dissimilar at all. I reckon now you've put a name on it. I recognise when I do that to other people, when other people do that to me.
Once you know that, it happens all the blinking time. And when you hear yourself doing it, that's when it's most useful, because you just stop. You just stop doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like literally putting your hand into a fire and realising that the flame burns.
Yeah.
You sort of never do it again. It's so useful.
Yeah,
such a useful tool. Can I just congratulate you on your jacket photograph here?
Well,
because
thank you.
That's your writer's look.
That's my writer's look,
Chris.
Chris.
It's a good writer's look. Look at that. Look, there you go. Ben Miller, the writer.
For the listeners, I've got a silk scarf on.
Yes.
I'm looking very serious.
You're
I'm staring
awesome.
into the middle distance, Chris.
You look a bit like Damien Lewis. Don't you think he looks a bit squint?
You look like you might have a pipe in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Or are you
Which
just
pocket,
pleased
though?
to see me?
Yeah.
No, if you squint, if I hold this about a bit further away, right? Okay.
You saying that doesn't look like me, Chris?
No, I'm just saying it looks a bit like Damien Lewis. If I go up here and you squint.
Oh, wait a minute, Daniel Day-Lewis. Look at that.
We'll stick with.
Daniel Lewis. Oh, yeah, okay. And then mine. I'm pushing it.
You'd take either, would you? Surely. Come on.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.